I announced that in my Novi video that I'm planning to keep up with the content without buying new stuff, so I will work with what I already have. And therefore, welcome to this very first part of the brand review videos that I will be doing. I organized all of my makeup items in an Excel spreadsheet. In that Excel spreadsheet, there I have the brand, the product, and the shades. If it's eyeshadow palettes, I have all shades listed down. I have prices, everything is in there. And what I basically did, I accumulated all of that, put it in another spreadsheet, and then I just kind of extracted what brands I have. And the first part is now simply Posh Cosmetics. The plan for the future is that whenever I have one of those brand reviews, I will be using those products in the video and we will get it ready together with everything that I own from the brand. From Simply Posh Cosmetics, I actually only have 2 eyeshadow palettes, and it was quite hard to do some research on the brand. So if you are like, who the fuck is Simply Posh Cosmetics? You're not alone with that. And since I already filmed another video that day, I got ready already and we'll just talk about the product that I own from the brand. So Simply Posh Cosmetics is basically one of those 1,000 indie brands that you have in the world. It is not that old. It was founded in 2020 actually, and as far as I could find out, they're sitting currently in Austin, Texas. Unfortunately, I was not able to find out who the founder of the brand is. I was only able to find out from those like corporate websites, like cooperating brand listings, that the current managing member is Kayla Cerna. I had to read that up. But there are literally no infos about that person whatsoever. When you go on their website, they are very confusing, to be honest, because on the website itself, a couple weeks ago, there used to be categories for face and eye and lips. Now it's only eye, and the only product you find there is the Fairy Tales or Fairy Tale Fairies. What's it called? Fairy Tale Fairies eyeshadow palette. But they do have other ones, like they have the Fairy Tale Fairies. They do have one that is called something with gemstones, and they have the Berry Icy, and the latest one, the Citrus Punch. And I'm very confused by the fact that these are just not on the website. They're not even marked as like sold out or whatever. They're just not there. You can buy single eyeshadows because all of the palettes I'm going to show you, you can pop out the shades. But to be honest, for a brand's website, it's a very unpleasant experience. Let me just state that. If I would have found the website, like by randomly browsing through the internet, I would not have stopped and shopped there. That's just for sure. Since I live in Germany, as you know, I bought these palettes off Monolith Shop. They carry Simply Posh Cosmetics, and I bought 2. The Citrus Punch is the latest one, so let's start with this. Just take a look at this beautiful summer palette. Like, isn't that one of the most summery, prettiest, happy color stories you've ever seen? And there's the problem, because that's it. It's just a pretty color story. The quality is actually very, very disappointing, especially in this palette, because when we're talking about the Berry Icy palette, it's so much better. And I'm actually not talking about the mattes, because the mattes, they are very delicious and soft. But this row of shimmers is very lacking pigment, it's very lacking intensity, it's a bit disappointing. What I like is that the whole layout of every single Simply Posh Cosmetics palette is like that. So you have a color story that goes from a gradient, one color to another color, and then everything what's in between. The Berry Icy one, first of all, the design, like the Citrus Punch has these fruits, the Berry Icy has fruits, and just look at the inside. These are stunning. And the whole quality of the middle row is a complete different than in the Citrus Punch. And again, you have the color story from blue to red and everything that's in between. The thing is, I would love to tell you something more about the brand, and I would love to like recommend it to you. If you have the chance to try Simply Posh Cosmetics, I would rather recommend going into it with the Berry Icy than into Citrus Punch, because the quality is definitely not at the same level. And if that's important to you, the palettes are not made in the States. They are made in the PRC. That means the People's Republic of China. So I know it's a common thing that like you have your bureau or your whole department in another country and you manufacture your stuff in China, but With makeup, this sometimes has this bitter taste of a private label. And if you don't know what private labeling is, there are a lot of companies in the world where you can basically, you buy their products and put your label on it. I talked about that in my audience eye ranking, and I actually got a comment like somebody was also like me going down the rabbit hole of private labels, and I tried to research that. I could not find any information because it is really, really hard to find information on the brand either ways. This might not be the best start of this brand review series, but I want to be very honest and just like share with you every single part of information that I have. And let me just tell you that the next part of these brand reviews is going to be Charlotte Tilbury, and there is not only a lot to talk about, but it's also like a whole get ready with me. So if you have any info about Simply Posh Cosmetics and the products, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to learn more about the brand and like to understand their whole concept, because even in the like influencer space, I remember that Angelica Ninquist was talking about the citrus punch and that they had reached out to her if they can send her the palette, but I never heard back from her in the videos that she actually tried it. And I know that Simply Posh Cosmetics is sending out PR, but the people who are trying that PR, like I've never seen before, which is like not a surprise, like millions of people do this kind of content. But they're like a very quiet brand, so they're not reaching out to big influencers, which is also a good sign. So from my experience with the brand, they're very so-so, very up and down, because this palette was a letdown while this one is an absolute gem in my collection. So if you like that kind of video, the like brand review, because I just put everything down in an Excel spreadsheet and we have over 100 brands to cover, and if I upload these once a week, this will be a 2-year series. Alright, so that was the first brand review. I know that was a very short like introduction to that whole series because there's just nothing much to cover about the brand, and we have over 100 brands to cover that I have in my collection, so there is going to be a lot. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.